Okay, today I wanted to show you how you can easily get into the game of Wyvern very affordably and have a lot of fun playing with your friends or family members. You can do this with any of these collectible card games. Unfortunately, collectors have greatly driven up the cost of these cards. This lot right here is going for $25, and I don't think it's worth it at all. I mean, maybe there's some rares in here. I can see this one right here might be a rare, but I would not buy that. They sell individual cards now that I wouldn't give you 50 cents for, and they're trying to get $3, $4 sometimes. It's ridiculous. But here's what you can do. You can buy a starter box. There are 12 starter decks in this box. And even at this price of $99, that's $113 for 12 decks. That's less than $10 a deck. That's a really good deal. But you can bid at 64. Here's one for 75 plus 12, so 980, 87. So that's good. This is a good deal. 40 bucks, so 50 bucks with delivery. You get 4 starter decks and you get 12 booster packs. Just the booster packs alone is not bad. The limited cards, limited edition, those are the least valued cards. Premier and limited are the same. Premier goes for more money. They have more value. Limited has the least value. Kingdom is what you want, but Kingdom is hard to find. See, everything is limited. Limited edition, limited edition, limited edition. This is what's all over eBay. So it's not the best thing. Now this, I guess he's doing this for 70 bucks for 12 decks. Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to buy 12 decks for this, I would totally do this. It's really, really worth it. So now I'm going to show you what I've done, because I do have starter decks like this, and I've turned them into all, playable, workable decks, because I've learned the game enough, and it doesn't take long to learn the game. And you take out the cards that you don't want in the deck, and you combine, 2 or 3 decks to make one really good deck, and you and your friends and family can have hours of fun playing Wyvern. It doesn't matter that the game's dead. The game doesn't need to be alive to still enjoy playing it. It doesn't need to be current, in the meta. There doesn't need to be a meta. You can play this for as often as you want. It's just a lot of fun. But now I'm going to show you the kind of decks that I've built using these starter decks. So this is what the starter box looks like once you open it up. Now I've marked them with these little black marks. This just shows that I had already worked on it, and I've done all of them, so they're all done. I've got a couple starter deck boxes like this. Actually, I've got like 4 of them. So I have plenty of decks. But I'm just going to show you one. I'm going to make sure that nothing, because some of these decks I put cards in from other editions that weren't part of this, so I'm just going to double check. Okay, so this deck will have some cards that are not from the Premier or limited sets, and a lot of these cards are from the Kingdom set. Actually, this deck box is a Kingdom starter. You can see it says Kingdom right there. It says, well, I don't know if I can get it just so you can see. So these are Kingdom starter decks. But the cards in Kingdom are almost identical to the cards in Premier and Limited. They added like 50 other cards. Other than that, it's exactly the same. So even though this is from Phoenix, this is this is the Phoenix symbol. I'm pretty sure this card existed prior. It might not have. This might just be a unique one from Phoenix. But if there's no symbol, it's either Premier or Limited. This is Limited because it has the little black dot. If it doesn't have a black dot, it's Premier, which is the first set. They're exactly the same set. For some reason, they redid the set and called it Limited, and it ticked off a lot of people. And then when Kingdom came out, it was the exact same thing too, which was very bizarre. So this is the Kingdom logo. So again, this card is in Premier and Limited. So these are your scouts in the game. Scouts are very important because they destroy terrains. They're weak. They're all 0 strength dragons. So they're weak, but you can still fight with them. You can still win battles with them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 scouts in this starter deck, and there's around 20 cards in the dragon lair. So I've got Colchis, a very simple little basic one-strength dragon. I would normally never use him. Would normally never use Muchusu. I think that's how you pronounce it. Another weak dragon. Garguli is fun. I like calling it Garguli. And I'm holding this on the side so I can see in my camera. So I can see where that you can see it as well. So that's a good dragon. This guy's really nice because in Wyvern, Dragon Slayers slay face-up dragons. They can slay them very easily. This card, if she can win a battle, she can turn any dragon, including herself, face down. And I like that it should have said she's a Naga, because she's clearly a Naga, and they didn't say that on this, and that was a mistake. I would think if they had ever brought this game back, they would make corrections like that. Hence, yet another Naga. Oh, but it's actually called Naga, so we're good. So that one works. So these are bigger dragons now. You're seeing Strength 3. Vitra is a good dragon. This is from the Chameleon set, so this would not be in your starter deck, so we don't need to talk about him. Wyvern is the most common card in the game. I wish they would have made other Wyvern dragons to make it more interesting, but they never did. Here's one from the limited set. This is Cedo. Really good dragon. Cool looking dragon too. And then we've got another big dragon. In a starter deck, it's nice to have a variety of little scouts, little dragons, medium dragons, and big dragons. It's what you want. You want the variety. Then we have our terrains. Quicksand. So this is from limited. You can see the black dot there. And here's one from Premier. But this is a basic terrain. It's common as dirt. No value at all. But perfectly good cards to play in your basic starter decks. These are all perfectly playable cards, and this is a lot of fun to play. So this is just a starter deck, and you can pull this out with your friends, and you want to teach them the game, and you've got all these decks, and you can slowly customize them and make them a little better. You don't have to put a bunch of rares in the deck to make it a perfectly playable game. You don't have to go spending money spending $10, $20 for those rare cards that they sell individually on eBay. You don't need to do it. Gold, these are the treasure cards. You get 4 treasure places on your battlefield, so you can have up to 4 of these and play at any one time. This one helps you on defense. This one's expensive. It costs 3 gold. That's a big price, but you do get +2 strength when attacking, which makes you very formidable. This is a great card, which is why it costs 2 gold. Your dragons in the row can help each other, but it's risky because if you lose the battle, they all die. So it's interesting. This protects from Dragon Slayers. Very good card in the basic game. Actually, I could see it as a sideboard card too. If you were playing a constructed deck and your opponent's playing Dragon Slayers, just bring that out. Treasure Room's nice. Okay, so now we've got battle action cards. These are your strength modifiers. All the basic fighting for Wyvern. You add +1 strength to the battle. Your dragon gets +1 strength. So we got 3 of those. Got some dwarven armies here. I'm guessing 3. Then we've got some firebolts. So 2 gold, you get +3. I don't have any magical swords in here apparently. And that's okay. I'm not going to have them in every deck. So a couple of those, and then the very expensive fireball. It's too expensive for what it does, but in the basic game, it's just fine. Then we have some Dragon Slayers. So we have Sir Lancelot, a couple of those. We've got Beowulf to take out 0 strength dragons, mainly scouts you want to take out so they can't destroy your terrains. Sigurd takes out little dragons, just destroys them, just like that. You just play it and it slays them. St. George can get rid of treasures. So if your opponent's got treasures that are annoying you, St. George will slay the treasure. It's an odd kind of card, really. Cadmus will slay any flying dragon. Little, big, makes no difference. Good Dragon Slayer. Then we have fun battle action cards like Sacrifice. So your opponent's going to have to pay you 2 gold. He wins the battle, but they lose 2 gold and you get 2 gold. This is a very expensive card. Probably wouldn't use it normally. Player of your choice misses next turn. Can be effective, but that's a lot of gold to pay. Possession Spell, really good battle action in the basic game. Could be used in constructed too. Hard to say, but it doesn't matter. You're not worried about constructed. You just want to play a casual game of Wyvern with your friends, and you don't want to spend a lot of money. And this is the perfect way to do it. You get 12 decks for under $100, possibly as low as $60. possibly, if you find one that's someone's not trying to ask a lot for it. And you've got 12 decks, and you can build 4 or 5 or 6 really good decks from this. And this is one of them. Hailstorm's a perfectly good card. Weakens flying dragons in the battle. Battle chaos. Everybody can bring in all the dragons they want. Just go crazy, and whoever loses all their dragons. But you decide how many you want to bring in. You don't have to bring in any. You can just say, nah, I'll just concede the battle now. Poison breathing is simple. Just weakens the dragon who won the battle. Counters your dragon slayers. They'd rather go be with the pretty girl than go slay a dragon. It's a lot safer. Marina always gets them every single time. They can't resist her. Makes sense to me. Anyway, there's Gold Thief in the game. There's Treasure Thief in the game. This counters the play of Gold Thief and Treasure Thief. Very, very rarely used, but in a basic game, if you're both playing Gold Thief and Treasure Thief, you should both have Catch a Thief in, so that when you play, there's that risk. Is it going to work? And then you can get Gold Find. Everybody gets 2 gold. I wish they made a card that only you got the 2 gold, but Gold Find is a perfectly good card to play. It helps you with gold, because you will run out of gold in this game if you are not careful. The really learning how to manage your gold, and I've played this game many, many, many times, and I still sometimes run out of gold. It just happens. There's not much you can do. If their opponent is attacking a dragon that you haven't paid for, you've got to pay for it. If it takes your gold, it takes your gold. There's nothing you can do. It just happens. So there's the Treasure Thief that gets all treasures removed, all of yours too. So it's a little risky, but a couple of those. Knowledge to look at their hand is a decent card. Crystal Ball to look at the next 5 cards of any player's deck, of their Dragon Lair, no, of their Treasure Hoard deck. Decent card, nothing great, but not bad. It's effective in a basic game. Marduk is a potentially great card, but not always. So one of those. Tengu is an odd card. This doesn't belong. This is Phoenix. So you can see the symbols. This is good. The blank and the kingdom are all from what you're going to get. You will not get that card. You will not see Windfall, because that's Chameleon. You will not see that. Volcanic Eruption you will see. Really good card. Brings back any card. They upped this to 2 gold later. This is the 1 gold version. I could probably get, who knows how much money I could get for this on eBay. Maybe just a couple bucks, maybe 5 or 10. Don't know, don't care. But if I ever needed money, I'd certainly see what this one goes for. I don't know. Because this is the Premier edition. The limited edition won't go for anything, and it's probably 2 gold anyway. All right, so Village, simple card. Removes any card attached to a dragon. Sometimes completely worthless in your hand, but okay. Another Knowledge. So I just didn't have them together for some reason. Tsunami is a very good card. You have to pay for dragons that you turn up, but you get to draw cards. Subterranean River can be an effective card. It just depends on your deck. Heat Wave is a fairly weak card, but perfectly playable in a basic game. Earthquake, again, not a very good card, but in the basic game, it could work. Everybody has to discard 1, which means you lost 2 because you had to play Earthquake. So you lose 2. It's really not a good rate. And just to stop them from attacking with scouts. So that's a simple basic deck. And like I say, this is the way to get into Wyvern. Don't get into buying the individual cards. It's not worth it. They charge way too much now. I don't even know why people pay that much for those individual cards. I have lots of Wyvern cards. I'm not going to pay $10 for a Wyvern card. Not happening. If I saw a card for $5 and it was a rare for $5 and I wanted a copy of it, then I'd buy it. You'll sometimes see those on eBay. Some auctions sell cards low, and they assume that they'll either go up in value or they don't care. They just want to get rid of the card. When you can find those auctions, you can bid on those cards, and you can add more cards that you want to your collection. But don't pay $10 for a Wyvern card just because collectors are trying to collect the whole set. That's the only reason those cards are going for $10. These cards have no value. The game is dead. There are no tournaments. So it's just for people who want to collect every single card. And that's the only reason. And this is true of every dead card game on eBay. There's tons of them. Tons. So this is how you do it. This is how you build a Wyvern collection without going broke, and you will have so much fun playing this game. These starter decks all come with a little rule book. They're not in here. I took them out. But the rule book is right here. It's a very basic little rule book. It hold on. I'll get to the page that I want you to see. So there's the basic setup on the table. And then there's your action phase. There's your turn sequence. So you draw a card, you place a treasure. You may place up to one treasure. You can make 2 moves of your cards in your battlefield. You can move 2 cards. Then you have your first action phase, which is the same as like the main phase in Magic. And then you have a battle phase, which is optional. You don't have to attack. You can swap out. Then you have the second main phase or second action phase and a discard phase. The only thing not mentioned here, but it is mentioned as you go through this, is in the first action phase is where you play a Dragon Slayer if you want. You can attempt 1 Dragon Slayer a turn in the first action phase, but if you do this, you skip the battle phase and go right to second action phase. And I've just taught you the basics of Wyvern just like that. That's how easy this card game is to learn. And then the only other thing you have to learn is the difference between the dragon's base strength and current strength. The base strength is the strength printed on the card. The current strength is whatever it currently is in battle or on the table. If it has a -1 modifier to it, its current strength is 1 less. It's that simple. So if you play a strength modifier in a battle, that's its current strength now. So your 2 strength dragon goes to a 3 or a 4 or a 5. That's the current strength. And it usually won't come up that much. You won't need to worry about it, but a few cards you will. Things like Power Switch, Medea's Spell, and some other ones, and I forget them. But anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check out, if you guys are fans of Dungeons & Dragons, check out my D&D novels, my narration of my D&D novels, Forestera's Fate. They are in a playlist on my channel. Just click on playlist. Look for the thing that says Forestera's Fate. There's book 1 and book 2, and you can listen to my D&D novel. I narrated it. I have intro and outro music, and I think you'll really enjoy it. If you like D&D, I think you'll enjoy listening to it. It's a long story. So hope you check it out, and leave a comment if you do, letting me know you were there. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.